I used to think
I used to think
that I went to church.
I used to think that church was some building with a steeple and a sound system and a big bathtub to dunk people in.
I used to think that church was watered down apple juice and flour cookies.
I used to think that church was a lot of stand up, sit down, and stand up again, and then give us all your money.
I used to believe that a Sunday morning service would change the world, get people saved, make Jesus happy.
I used to believe that before I showed up to church, I had to
Pray to clean my mind of the things I saw on the web. Ask forgiveness from the lies I've told and vow to give back the things that I've stolen.
and promise to be a missionary, or else God would not hear me and then I was not welcome.
I used to think that singing was the highest form of worship.
Second only to wearing a tie and dress shoes.
I used to think that church was to only be run by a few who had large degrees and big titles.
I used to think if I really needed to find God, the best place to start looking
The best place to start looking was in the walls of the church building.
I don't know anymore.
I don't know anymore.
I don't know anymore.
I don't know anymore.
I don't know if much of what I've been brought up to think about church is really true.
It has been easier, neater, and more defined. It has rules and processes and can be reproduced.
It was safe, reliable, even sacred.
It was convenient, it was friendly, it was purpose-driven.
But was it
What God intended
The church to be?
I mean, I have to believe that it tried, but somewhere it lost the heartbeat of God. Somewhere we, the people of the church, have traded in our right to fight for each other, to care for each other, to bring hope and peace and love to this world.
For a sermon, a few membership classes, and a tax-deductible giving statement.
We've forgotten what it means to give of ourselves, to share ourselves.
And we have settled for a 1-hour program on Sunday morning.
Have we traded what it means to be brother, the bride of Christ, the light of the world, the firstborn, for a collection of lights and buildings, logos and marketing, and safe, neat services?
We say we love God. We call ourselves the church.
I have a feeling that we've squandered our birthright.
So what do we do about it?
So what do we do about it?
So what do we do about it?
Do we sit silently pretending nothing is wrong because this is tradition? This is the way that we've always done it?
Do we refuse to change the culture because the problem seems too big?
Because it will make us uncomfortable, because it will cost us more of ourselves.
If we, the church, want to change the world,
We have to change the church.
I used to think I was just young, merely idealistic and naive.
I used to think that one voice
Could not make a difference.
But what if it can?
But what if it can?
What if it can?
But what if it can?
But what if it can?
What if we welcome each other because of our hope for the future instead of the merit in our past?
What if our worship becomes a conscious,
Active, essential part of our daily life.
Instead of a 4-course song set and a special offertory piece.
What if we give of our time,
our resources,
our hearts, to make a difference in our community?
instead of writing a check just to clear a conscience?
What if we simplify our understanding and belief about the church?
What if we actually invest ourselves into building real relationships with those around us?
And take ownership of our relationship with God.
But what if we're not
satisfied with
With going to church.
What if we're not satisfied with going to church, but strive to become the church?